Hey y'all, hey, what's up out there to all of my fellow gold diggers? This is your girl Rita, also known as the self-proclaimed gold digger. If this is your first time to my channel, then welcome. I am so glad to have you. But if you are a fellow gold digger, then welcome back. Y'all know I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. Tonight it is time for Tipsy Tuesday, and we are talking about the halfway hustle, how to finish 2025 off strong because y'all, half a year is already gone. Can y'all really believe that? Half the year is gone. So, if you have fallen off track, we're going to talk about that. If you are on track, we're going to also talk about that. But I know if you're like me, I've fallen off track. So, this is just some encouragement, some motivation for you to finish the last half of the year off strong. So, real quick though, before I get into it, let me check my social media accounts to make sure we are good on all ends and that everything is going well. I hope the first July 1st has been a good day for you so far. Let's see. All right. I think we are good there. There we go. And then let me check one other place. And then I'll explain to you about Tipsy Tuesday if you are new, because shout out to my new subscribers. I'm so happy to see you guys. Shout out to my A1 Day Ones for always rocking with me. But I know we have a lot of new people here, so I am definitely happy to have you as well. All right, so it looks like we are good there. All right, so what's up, April? Good to see you. She says 2 minutes late. My bad, girl. 2 minutes late. It seems like lately, and I haven't seen you. I hope you're doing really well, April, though, for real. She says, hello, all. Your girl has been plagued with some technical difficulties. So, my notes would not print out, so I'm going to be looking at all my notes on the phone, which I don't usually like because I like to be able to see more of my notes than what I can see on my phone to see if I need to skip around and stuff. So, but I'm going to be looking at my notes on my phone. But if you are new to Tipsy Tuesday, basically what we do is we take some sips as I share some tips. And tonight I am just drinking on some tea. That's all. It has been a busy, busy day for me. I still have not even eaten dinner, so your girl is also hungry. So I'm going to try and get through all of this stuff as quickly as possible, but I'm still trying to be as impactful as possible. All right. So if you are like me, this first half of the year has really, really flown by. It's been a lot of good things that have happened, a lot of things that I have been working on, but I am nowhere near where I wanted to be at the beginning of the year. So I know I'm probably not alone in this. And usually around this time too, because it's the first day of July. It's the first day of a new month. It's also the first day of a new quarter. So, like, literally, we are in the third quarter of the game, y'all. And if you down in the third quarter, like in basketball, you know you got to turn it up. So, I am down. It's the third quarter, and I got to turn it up. And if you're like me, it is time for us to turn it up. We got to finish strong, all right? So, there's too many goals on the line. There's too many dreams on the line for us today to be playing around and playing small, and that's not what we're trying to do. All right. And also, it's also more challenging because it is the summertime, y'all, and we want to have fun. I know I want to have fun. So I have definitely let other things get in the way. I have definitely let some things distract me, as well as just the summer brings a lot of different things. So this is our mid-year wake-up call. This is our mid-year reset so that we can reach our goal, okay? So it's not just a reset. It's going to be a wake-up because we fell asleep, all right? So it is literally go time here. All right. But I do have a lot to talk about today. And let me see. What's up? And I see a few more comments. I'm going to try and stick to about 45 minutes, y'all. 45 minutes. All right. And I know I'm already behind, but let me see. Let me look at the comments really, really quickly. Miss Fifi, I love the name. She says, hello, newbie here. Oh, so glad to have you. I'm glad you were able to join live. And April, let me see. April says, I'm doing good. I see you just came back from vacation, son. I know you're good. I am, but usually, when you come back from vacation, there's like a lot of things or stuff that has carried over. And she's just saying hi. And then April saying that she's been slacking. Miss Fifi has been slacking. So we all been slacking. And she's like, I'm like, this popped up on my timeline. Yes, I'm glad it popped up on your timeline so you can do a reset. So we all been slacking, which, I mean, if you're like me, I usually set some pretty ambitious goals. And I know I'm probably not going to hit all of them, but I'm like, at least I can get close. But what you want to do to finish this last half of the year off strong, if you have fallen behind on your goals, or even if you haven't fallen behind, if you are right on track, you should still try and do these things. So the first thing we're going to be talking about is reflecting and rethinking some of our goals that we have set for ourselves for 2025 before we just start charging ahead through this next half of the year. So we want to know what worked and what wore us out, because there were some things that I was trying to do, that I was trying to make work, and it ultimately wore me out. And it's like, I can't continue in the same vein. So I know I'm going to have to rework some stuff because it's just not feasible for me. So what worked and what wore you out? And then also, were your goals aligned with who you really are, or did they just look good on paper? So I know for me, like it would sound real good if I achieved this goal. But some things I'm about to let go by the wayside because it just looks good on paper, but it's not necessarily aligned with who I ultimately want to be, or what I ultimately want to achieve. So if so, you need to tweak it, toss it, and turn up the volume on any of the ones that you feel like are in alignment and you have definitely been slacking on. So because sometimes it's not the goal, and also sometimes the goal is not bad or anything like that, but your method about going about achieving it could be a little faulty. So we want to kind of reevaluate all that stuff. But before we do that, make sure you reflect on your wins, celebrate your wins, and also look at the lessons that you have learned over the first half. Okay. Look at your habits, look at your routines. That's what I'm looking at. I'm definitely looking at my morning routine and side-eyeing myself with my morning routine. There are things that I have gotten better with in my morning routine, and there are some things that I still need to work on when it comes to my morning routine. So your girl is still struggling to get up during her actual time, but I've been doing really good with doing my devotions. I've been doing really good with doing my facial, my skincare routine and stuff like that. So I've been doing good with some stuff, but like once I'm actually up, I usually do pretty good. I've been doing good with walking like I'm supposed to. So once I get up, I'm usually pretty good. It's a matter of me getting up at the appointed time that I'm supposed to. So look at your habits, look at your routines, and look at your results. Are you getting the results that you expected from doing these different things? And what are these things telling you about yourself? So I already know, like, I woke up late by the time that I said that I was supposed to be up. And I'm like, maybe my body ain't built built to wake up at this particular time. I don't know. But I'm trying to see what it's telling me. And then your wins, they aren't just a metric, but they're also a sign of your growth. They're a sign of your boundaries, and they're also a sign of your breakthroughs. So look at your wins under that particular aspect as well. And also look at your lessons, because even if you did not do things as well as possible, they are not losses. Remember, it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. And these lessons can become leadership tools for you to use in the second half. So really take some time out and reevaluate what you have been doing and see what you need to change. All right. The second thing I'm going to say is redefine what finishing strong looks like. Like if you saw yourself on December 31st, right as you're about to bring in the new year, we're about to bring in 2026. What ultimately would that look like? What would you actually want to accomplish? How would you want to feel? All that kind of stuff. What would you want that year to say about you? So start looking at what does finishing, or redefining what finishing strong looks like for you, not for social media. All right. Because sometimes we'll put on for social media, not for social media. What does that look like for you? All right. So don't worry about how it looks to other people. How would it feel for you? All right. Because there are a couple of things that I am working on for 2026 that I'm really, really and one of them will be for 2025 that I'm really excited about. So you're finishing strong. It might be starting something new. It might be slowing down, okay? To take time out, to heal, reflect, you know, it might be slowing down. So don't think 2025 how you reflect on it is you amping it up. It might be, girl, you need to go sit down somewhere because you're doing way too much, and this is actually the season of rest for you. This might be the season of you kind of regrouping. So really look at that, because I was listening to a podcast, and all of us are going through different seasons of our life. Like, there's not always a season of spring where everything is growing, and it's not always a season of summer where after everything has grown, things are flourishing, everything is happy. There's seasons of winter, there's seasons of fall, they're dead seasons too. Just like outside has different seasons, our lives have different seasons, and you need to know what season that you're in so that you can act and adjust accordingly. And different points in your life might be in different seasons. So your health and your health and your fitness might be in a season of growth, whereas your season of I don't know, money or something like that, your financial season might be in a season of you need to be saving, and that's not necessarily growing as fast as you want. So look at the different seasons of your life and see what parts of your life are in what seasons, because that's how you can reflect and know what areas you need to be working on. All right, to help you finish strong. So another thing I have is set some 90-day sprint goals. So see what your goals are going to be for July, August, and September. Focus on just 1 to 3 powerful outcomes, not 50 different 50-11 scattered goals that you're trying to work on. Because I know this is my problem. Like, literally, y'all probably heard me at the top of the year. I started the Gold Digger Book Club. That's kind of falling off, but we're gonna get back to reading. Actually, I got something new planned for that. But I just had way too many goals. And when it comes to books, I am reading books, y'all. It might not seem like it. I'm reading books. I just haven't finished books. I have about 6 different books that I have been reading since the beginning of the year, but I have not finished them. So I said, I really, really, really want to read books this year, but I need to get focused. I can't start by reading a whole bunch of different books, or every time I see a new book come out, I get it and start reading it and leave the other ones behind. So focus on 1 to 3 specific goals and not so many scattered goals. Otherwise, you'll be like me. You'll start a whole bunch of different stuff and not finish them, just like me in those books. I've started a whole bunch of books, but I have not finished any of the books, okay? And then when you pick out one particular goal, create one particular plan so that you can have a full commitment to that. So this is my goal. This is my plan on achieving that goal, and commit to doing that. And find how you can find a way to commit to it every day. So, or at least reflect on your progress every day. And then here's another thing that I really encourage y'all to do, is to create a do it scared action list. Because truth be told, some of us, we ain't doing what we're supposed to do. We have not achieved those goals that we set out at the beginning of January because we are too scared. Like, girl, if I did this, you know what that would require of me? So you are too scared to do it. I know I'm not the only one. So instead of doing it, you've been avoiding it, and you've been busying yourself with some other stuff to make it seem like you've been getting stuff done. But really, the thing you really, really want to do, you're absolutely terrified of doing it. So think about that, and think about what's one scary step you've been postponing and putting off, and do that thing first, okay? Because there's a saying that says courage doesn't feel safe, it feels necessary. So anyone who's courageous, they know they're not, whatever they're about to do, it is not safe, but it is oftentimes necessary, okay? So courage doesn't feel safe, but it does feel necessary. All right, something else you can do is to take an audit of your distractions. What keeps pulling you off course? All right, and be for real with yourself. What is it really? What is it costing you? Is it costing you money? Is it costing you time? Is it costing you your peace? Is it costing you your energy? Like, what is distracting you? And I've had to identify those things too. And when these things happen, like when these triggers happen, I have to identify how I'm responding to it. And as I realize I respond to it by eating. I know. Like I'll eat, I'll fall off course with my eating. I'll start eating a whole bunch of stuff because things are pulling at me and they're causing me to go into a negative direction. And so instead of being negative about it, I'll eat to make myself feel happy. And I can't do that. So I was like, I can't keep eating. So I started walking and stuff too. But you need to be real of what this is actually costing you, those distractions that keep pulling you off course. And keep track of how you spend your hours from one day and check for any time gaps. Because you'll be surprised. You might have hopped on social media and you're like, oh, I'm only going to be on here about 15 minutes. And next thing you know, it's an hour. And then because you've lost those 45 minutes, now you're not working on the specific task that you were supposed to be doing. Or you said you're only going to be on there 15 minutes and then it ends up being 2 hours, or you get down this little rabbit hole on something that you saw on social media. And now you're like, now I'm too tired to work on the stuff. All right. So just be mindful of that. And silence doesn't mean focus. So make sure when you're silent, it's not because you're actually scrolling, and that is a form of you being passively distracted. And also what you want to do too is make space for things. So sometimes you cannot focus, you cannot move forward because of clutter. So you can declutter your physical space, but also declutter the things that are on your calendar. Like, are you committing to too many activities? Are you showing up for people who barely will show up for you? So declutter some stuff, not just in your home, but also on your calendar. And that will help declutter your mind mentally so that you can really think and get some good and amazing ideas that you can execute on, and you don't have decision fatigue. All right. Also reset your priorities, see what matters most. All right, now that was a lot. I'm going to skip ahead. This is why I like to see all of my notes. The other thing I'm going to say to you in regards to reflecting and rethinking is, I know a lot of us have fallen off track, but please, please, please drop the shame associated with it. Like, don't feel bad. Just know, when you know better, you try to do better. So you know that you need to be working on different stuff. So just try to work and do better next time, but don't feel shameful about it. Don't beat yourself up too much about it, because you don't need to punish yourself for where you've been. You need to focus on where you're going. All right. And if you're spending so much time beating yourself up, like, I should have did that in March, man, if I would have did that back in April, then I would be this far along. Like, don't focus on that. All right. Focus on where you're planning on being in the future and where you're going. All right. You're not behind. All right. You're not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. All right. Because when you feel shameful like that, the shame paralyzes you. All right. And we need you to be strategic, because when you have a strategy, that causes you to move. All right. So do a quick little life audit. See how you're doing mentally, health wise, money wise, business wise, and see what you need to change. I'm encouraging you to write one thing that you're proud of this year. And y'all can even share it in the comments. What's one thing you are proud of this year? Because you have accomplished something. You have done something. It might be a small goal. It might not be your big goal, but you've done something that you should be proud of. So what's one thing that you're proud of for yourself for the first half of the year? And release any guilt for what you didn't do. Okay. We're just going to carry through to the next half of the year. All right. So this next part is for my entrepreneurs and business owners. But let me take a sip and let me see if I have any comments. All right. Miss Fifi says, oh, she said, thank you, beautiful. Oh, you are so sweet, Miss Fifi. I'm so glad you joined. All right. So y'all, for my business owners, entrepreneurs, this ain't the season for a soft launch. Okay. Let's stop playing small. All right. This isn't a rehearsal. This is the real thing. So if at the beginning of the year, you said, hey, I was going to launch my business, I was going to start selling this particular product or do this particular service, and it ain't pop off yet, you still in the blueprint stage, you still trying to figure it out. You had plenty of time now. It's been 6 months. This ain't the season for a soft launch, okay? This is it's time for the real thing. All right. You've had enough time to prepare. All right, so because oftentimes we'll stay stuck in our preparation mode. All right, where we keep tweaking stuff, we keep changing stuff, we keep focus, we keep majoring in minor things. What do I mean by that? We're like working on our bio that half people ain't gonna read. We working on our brand colors that nobody really gonna pay attention to. I mean, not like you do, all right? You keep changing stuff, but you really aren't doing the thing. Just like I talked about before, sometimes we are not doing the real thing that we want to do or that we should be doing because we are too afraid of doing it. All right, because a soft launch that might sound cute, but at a certain point, it's time for you to go hard in the paint. All right. You need to get it done. So, and if you want to achieve your next level results, this is your season. This is your time to do it. You've done enough preparation. You've done enough planning. All right, it's time to do the thing. And when you start launching that thing, you'll get visibility and you'll start seeing what's working and what's not working. Okay. All right. So you don't need more time. You actually need some more courage. All right. So with that being said, if you are an entrepreneur, business owner, and this, I'm stepping all on your toes, I'm so sorry. But follow these things to help yourself out. All right. So I need you to stop rehearsing and start releasing. All right. It does not have to be perfect to be profitable. All right. Repeat after me. It does not have to be perfect to be profitable. We're going to say it one more time for the people in the back. It does not have to be perfect to be profitable. Stop trying to make that thing perfect. Okay. Go ahead, launch it out, make you some money. And then I guarantee that you'll tweak it later as you get people's feedback, as you get some customer responses about what's working well, what might need some improvements on. Okay. It does not have to be perfect to be profitable. I use this example often on my previous videos. The first version of the iPhone, I don't know what version it is on now because I don't have an iPhone. But the first version of the iPhone is not the same as the latest version now. If they waited until to launch the iPhone when it's like the latest version, how long is that? It would have been like 10 years later. But every time they try to tweak it, they try to make it better. That's why there's different versions of stuff. All right. That everything needs to be an improvement. Like you are not even the same version of yourself that you were last year. Hopefully you're not. Hopefully you're a better, more improved version. So it does not have to be perfect to be profitable. All right. Now don't put out nothing sloppy. Okay. Nothing half done. But you get what I'm saying. Sometimes we spend way too much time trying to perfect stuff and make it perfect. And you don't have to do that. All right. So you can fix it later. But people can't buy what you don't share. And if you're not sharing it, they can't buy it. All right. And then also, how do you know what to fix if you haven't gotten any customer, response and feedback? All right. And the next thing, if you keep talking about a soft launch mindset, it keeps you stuck in the preparation mode. Okay. That's how years can slip by. Y'all ever met somebody? Like I talked to some people and they tell me that they're working on a certain business and I might run into them a couple of years later or a year later and I might ask them about it, or I might not even ask them about it. It might come up in just regular conversation and they'll talk about they're still working on starting this particular business. Like it don't take all that. I mean, you ain't doing no NASA level stuff where where it might take years to launch. But even with that, you see, what is it, SpaceX? How many of them daggone shuttles done crashed and stuff and didn't work out? I don't know what they're doing. They spending millions and billions of dollars and the stuff still don't work or whatever, but they're launching it anyway. They're starting it anyway. All right. And they're going to tweak and they're going to go from there and Elon don't care. He's going to keep going and stuff like that. That's the same kind of mindset you have to have. All right. Launch the thing, see how it is, and stop getting stuck trying to prep for stuff for years. And years have gone by and you haven't done anything. All right. Stop rehearsing your greatness. All right. Stop rehearsing your greatness for only you to see. Go live so all of us can see. Launch the product. launch the business, launch that service, okay? Because also too, the longer it takes for you to do it, the more your momentum fades, the more your motivation fades, the longer it takes, okay? And also, here's another thing, because I'm also guilty of this, because I like to research stuff a whole bunch. So you've done enough consuming, like consuming content, consuming information, gathering information, curating and cultivating different resources and sources for you to make sure what you're producing is accurate and everything like that. Stop. You've done enough consuming. It's time for you to create. All right. That means you also don't need another webinar. You don't need to read another book. You don't need to download anything else. You don't need another freebie. What you need right now is execution. All right. The word of the day is execution. All right. So start doing that. All right. Because when you take in too much stuff, there's that saying, analysis paralysis, as you just keep consuming more information. And then also you're getting like too many ideas from different people, and you'll see, oh, they made it work this way, and then also they made it work this other way, and now you're like, well, which way should I do it? It don't matter, pick one. They've already showed you this way works, that way works, and you trying to decide which way you're supposed to go, and they both work. Like, pick one. It's going to work. All right. It's going to work. If you've seen them do it and you've seen them get the results, then you pick one and do it. It should work. They have shown you that it works. All right. So stop consuming so much information. All right. And share what you have, because your voice, it adds value. And that's what a lot of us forget. Your voice adds value. What you have to offer, whether it's a product, a service, whatever your business is, your voice adds value. So people need the things that you are offering. Okay. And when it does come time for you to launch, and not a soft launch, when you're actually officially doing the thing, share your offer like you actually believe in it. Sometimes we'll present it, and we present it in such a way that we don't show any confidence in our product. We don't show any confidence in our service. So show it like you actually believe in it. Share it like you actually believe in it, okay? Because if you're not confident with selling it, then why is somebody confident buying it from you? All right? So just remember that. Be confident in how you're presenting your product and your service if you want somebody to be confident and trust you to buy it, okay? All right. And I know some people are like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I don't want to be salesy, okay? If you're not selling somebody something, then you're not, and it's something that they need, then you're not being of service to them. Point blank, period. When you're selling somebody something, or you're offering somebody something that they could benefit from, that they can use, that can improve their life, that's not being salesy. That's being of service to someone. That's something they need. That's something they want. That is something that can enhance or improve their life. So they don't care if it's a sale. They see it as an improvement for themselves. They see it as something that is helpful, as something that is beneficial. So you too stuck on being, I don't want to be seen as all salesy, when you need to flip the script and reframe it. Like, yes, it's sales, but when you sell somebody something that they need, that is being of service to them, okay? And please know the difference. Like, if you're just selling somebody something to make a sale, no, that's not where it's at. But if you're selling somebody something that can really benefit them, you are being of service to them. All right. And also, sometimes when you have a new business, product, service, you don't always put it out on display, because you're like, I don't really want to put my business out there like that. I don't want to seem like I'm trying to get attention and all this kind of stuff. But visibility isn't vanity. All right. Please don't conflate the two. Visibility isn't vanity. It provides value. All right. People can't support what they can't see. If they can't see you, they can't support you. So you up there, well, I don't want to put all this stuff out there because people are going to think I'm trying to make it all about me. And no, it's about you providing a product or a service to help somebody. All right. Visibility isn't vanity. Being seen is part of your assignment. All right. You need to be seen. That is part of the assignment. If you want somebody to know about something, you make it visible. When Apple has a new phone that comes out, they make it visible. They tell y'all about it. Okay. So hiding your gift helps no one at all. So just remember that. And treat your side hustle like a CEO and not like it's a hobby. All right. All right. And that is all I'm going to say about that. Oh, well, let me say one last point that I see. Every day that you delay, someone else will launch with less. So you ever had something and you had an idea and then you see somebody come out with that same idea and then you like, man, I had that idea and my stuff was better than theirs. Who knows that your stuff was better than theirs? Because yours still out there in your closet, out there in the garage, out there in the storage unit that nobody can see. So yes, you might have a product that's better than theirs, but they were bold enough to launch theirs while you were so busy trying to gather more information or didn't want to seem salesy or were trying to make things perfect that you didn't even put it out there. Meanwhile, they offering it, and now you're a little salty and upset because you see people buying it and supporting them, and you over here sitting in the corner talking about yours is better than theirs. How's it better when nobody don't know about it? Put it out there so that people can support it. All right. So just keep that in mind. Let me see how I'm doing on time because I know I'm giving y'all a whole bunch of information. But yeah, your girl is hungry, so I'm trying to hurry up and get through so I can eat too. All right, let me check these comments real quick. April's talking about launch hard, not soft. I'm gonna leave that alone right there. Oh, April. I don't like the way that sounds, but I get it. I get it. I don't like that. Yeah, we don't want any soft launches, not at all. It does not have to be perfect to be profitable. Thank you for saying it with me. It does not have to be perfect to be profitable. Please remember that. And she says, April says, I'm gonna add that to my work quotes book. Yay! And then she says, you gave me 5 new quotes. Awesome. I hope it's not that launch hard, not soft, because that can apply to many things. But anyway, moving right along, the last thing we're going to talk about is the fact that, yes, it is July. And I know it's the summertime. We in the middle of summer season and everybody wants to be, I won't say everybody wants to be outside, but most of us would like to be outside or having a good time or enjoying ourselves and taking a little break and a refresh, as you should. But you can't take July off and expect December results. Let me say that again. You can't take July off and expect December results. All right. Now, like I said, we know this is a distraction season. There's vacations. The holiday is coming up, so there's probably going to be barbecues, cookouts. The kids are out for school. So that can be a big distraction in and of itself. There's different summer sales that are going on. There's different summer outfits that be calling your name that you want to get into. All right, but you can't press pause on your purpose, okay? You still have to do stuff and build stuff unless you've already built in that rest time in your actual business schedule or personal schedule or something like that. But you need to be planting seeds now. Because the seeds you plant now, they will create a harvest for you later. So don't sleep in July. Don't take July off and then expect you're going to get results in December. All right. So plant the seeds now so that you can reap the harvest later on. All right. So even though it's summer, make sure you keep your focus. All right. So here's what I want you to remember. Take rest. Rest is necessary, but a full shutdown, that is not a good strategy. All right. So you need to rest with intention and not avoidance. Because sometimes we say that we're resting and really we are avoiding stuff. We're not doing the thing that we are supposed to be doing, like we talked about before, or we said because we've been avoiding the thing, we've been busy doing other stuff that has been draining us. So you're like, well, I need this rest anyway, but you rested and you really didn't do the thing that you really are supposed to do. So rest with intention, not avoidance. All right. Because sometimes you got to realize you ain't tired. You just not disciplined. Okay. All right. So stop trying to say, disguise your you being undisciplined with you being tired. You're not tired. You're just not having a discipline. All right. So you need to set up some boundaries for summer that help you build in rest without blowing your momentum. All right. So that's why I say rest is necessary, but make sure you plan accordingly for those rest times so that you can stay on task. All right. Because your dreams, they ain't clocking out just because the sun's out. All right. You still got dreams, you still got goals that you need to try to achieve. All right. And just because you're out of office, that does not mean you are out of alignment. Okay. So unplug from work, but don't unplug from your purpose. So you can rest and you can still move in the direction of your goals. Okay. Um, and if you think of it like this, we talked about this at the top of the year when we read the 12-week year. You can think of July as a new January. Use it to reset, use it to retreat, use it to regroup and restart the year. Okay, so think of this mid-year point as a second win and not as a timeout. I know it's pretty convenient because it's in the middle of summer, but think of it as like a reset. Okay, reset your energy. And not your expectations. Because sometimes we're like, yes, I need a break. I need to, I need to relax and everything. But that doesn't mean just because you took a break, don't take a break completely on all of your goals. So reset your energy, not your expectations, because you still got 6 more months to show up and don't waste them. And also, this is for the people who have been doing well for the first half of the year. If you have been doing well and you have achieved your goals, this is not the time to totally give up, okay? Because if you see stuff, as you start achieving stuff, momentum keeps building. And the more goals you achieve, the more successes you have, the more wins you have, it just keeps building and building and building. But if you stop completely, now you got to build up that momentum again. All right. So what you do today is going to make your tomorrow easier. Okay. Remember, your momentum, it is a multiplier. All right. Momentum is a multiplier. So take a break, but make sure you keep that momentum going. And you need to redefine rest. Like, what does rest really look like for you? So when you take a rest, maybe you're not actively working on different things or different goals. And if you have a business, maybe you're not actively you might be actively stepping away from the day-to-day of working in your business because you're on vacation. But redefine rest, and this could look like, hey, looking at your vision board, or making some changes to your vision board, or making some adjustments to your vision board. This could also mean doing some of the things that are fun for you, or listening to podcasts and stuff that could help your business grow or to help you grow as an individual. So when you're doing those rest seasons, still keep feeding yourself with information that is going to benefit you overall. And I do this often. Like, I share with you guys even some of the most mundane things that I'm doing. If I'm cooking, which I rarely cook, but if I'm cooking, I try to listen to podcasts so that I can get new information. Even when I'm walking, I'll try to listen to books and podcasts and those kinds of things. And I think of my walk as a way for me to kind of retreat and get away, but it's like active rest. So even though I'm getting away from the day-to-day, it helps calm me down from all the busyness of the day. I still try to feed myself helpful information that will still help build me up. Okay. So when you rest strategically, that can be the fuel that you need to continue on. Okay. Don't rest just to escape. Rest so that you can elevate and become an even better version of yourself. Okay. And I used this analogy before. Compare your summer to like the farming season. When you plant now, you'll reap later. We talked about the different seasons. So farmers don't wait till fall to start planting. All right. You shouldn't do the same thing too. Your summer work becomes your quarter 4 reward. So what you do now, you'll reap the rewards at the end of the year. And that's also why I said, picture in your mind, I should say, picture in your mind how you want December 31st to look. What successes do you want to say that you had in your business? What successes do you want to say that you had in your personal life, in the different areas of your personal life, whether that's with your health, whether that's with your family, whether that's with your financial goals? Like, what do you really want December 31st to look like? Okay. and start planning now so that you can reap those rewards later. All right. Because if not, don't be surprised when December 31st is still looking like January 1st, okay, of the previous year. All right. So let's see. The last thing I'm going to share with that is make sure you're balancing your fun with your follow through. So you can still enjoy the beach, you can still enjoy your vacation, but make sure you are still sticking to the blueprint. It doesn't necessarily have to be either or, it can be both and, okay? So you can do both things. You can rest and still work on your different goals and your different dreams. All right. And also, when you follow through and you actively do the things that you need, the follow through is what separates dreamers from doers. Because a lot of us are dreamers. A lot of us, I mean, I call myself the goal digger because I have a whole bunch of different goals. But in order for me to achieve my goals, I have to follow through with the things that I need to do. Okay. So just remember, consistency looks different in July, but it still matters. So consistency will look different because you're going to have some more rest. You're going to have more things that are distracting you. You're going to have more events that you're probably attending. Okay. So your consistency is going to look a little different. Just be mindful of that. Adjust for that. Okay. But it still matters. What you do in July, it still matters. So, and then just remember to rest strategically. All right. All right. So that was pretty much what I wanted to share with you guys. And I did really, really good on time. I have a few. Let me see what else I had in my notes. All right. So if you fell off in this first half of the year, it's okay. All we're going to do is we're going to make a plan. All right, we're going to make a plan so we can be strategic and finish the last half of the year off strong, okay? Because your comeback is always going to be greater than your setback, all right? So make your plan so that you can finish 2025 strong and it looks like what you hoped and you dreamed it to be. So what's one thing that you're committing to doing this month? Also, what's one habit that you might need to ditch this month that is not serving you or your future self? So you will know, who are you trying to become by December? All right. Who are you trying to be in December? Describe that person in 3 words. Describe it in 3 words and see whatever 3 words you use. Is that what you look like now? If that's what you look like now, then you need to pick 3 different words, all right? Because you've already achieved that, all right? So pick 3 words of what you want to look like in December, all right? And think about the things that you need to do to bring that to fruition, okay? All right, you didn't come this far to end in the same place that you started, so no more soft launches, no more shrinking, no more slacking over the summer. We're going to finish what we started. And not only are we going to finish what we started, we are going to finish strong. So y'all can let me know in the comments what your July goal is, or tag it later if you have to think about it, and share this with someone who you think can benefit from it. All right, but that is all. Let me check. I'm going to check the comments. Excuse me. All right, April says, you are too fresh. I didn't mean it like that. I know you didn't, but well, actually, I didn't know if you didn't or not. Because you get a little sassy. You get a little sassy too. So that's when you just put launch hard, not soft. I'm like, that could mean a multiple of things. There was no context around it. There's no context around it, but I didn't know if you were trying to be funny, because sometimes you drop a joke or two. But anyway, so I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will be back next Tuesday. I don't have anything planned for the weekend, so no side hustle Saturday or anything like that. But I hope you enjoy your holiday. I hope y'all get some rest during the summer break, but rest strategically so you can stay on track and finish the last half of this year off strong. All right. That is all I have for now. Take care, guys.